Welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling, and I thank you for watching this video. On this episode, I'm going to go through my Extreme vinyl collection. Now, Extreme isn't the band that you think of necessarily when you think of a vinyl collection, because they didn't start until 1989. They formed in 85, but they didn't put their first album out until 1989. So, vinyl isn't the easiest to come by these guys, and there aren't a lot of albums. They haven't put out a lot of albums over the years, but they put out some classics. And I've been lucky enough to get a good chunk of it, so I'm going to show you what I've got for Extreme vinyl. First album came out in 1989, self-titled, as a lot of debut albums are on A&M Records. I managed to find myself a copy in really good shape. This is a US edition on A&M Records. Really good shape this one is. Now, I don't know if it originally came with a picture sleeve or what it came with, or lyrics, but the version I have looks like this. Just a plain white side there, and then there's the record itself. That's what A&M labels looked like at the time that weren't customized. I have one other thing that has to do with their first album. Their very first single, and I don't know if it came out in advance of the album or not, but this is Kid Ego, their very first single, and this is actually a Canadian 45 with a stock A&M sleeve. And the B-side of that was another song from the first album called Smoke Signals. Now, the first album came out and it didn't do that great. Caused a lot of buzz, though, especially in guitar circles, because of Nuno Bettencourt. He was just, you know, at one point considered the next in line for the throne of Eddie Van Halen and all of that. But people didn't realize just the depth of songwriting that this band had. And of course, that all changed in 1990 with the release of their second album. Now, I've got a funny story about this, and some of you may know it if you've been really watching the videos and following along. Second album, of course, Extreme 2, Porno Graffiti, subtitled A Funked Up Fairy Tale. Now, here it is on vinyl. So, I found this at the Record Expo in Moncton in 2018. We did an episode on that. And Matt almost bought this. I ended up buying it. I didn't buy it at first because I thought it was a reissue. Then I looked at it and I looked at the serial number. I said, no, this is original. Okay, so there's a hype sticker on it. And sure enough, the number 395-3131, 5313 is the original serial number of this album. But I'm skeptical of the legitimacy of this because the hype sticker is part of the cardboard. So methinks this might be a copy. It's an extraordinarily well done copy if it is. The spine of this is just about impossible to read. I don't know if you can see that there or not. And the back cover, you know, it's got everything on it that was in the cassette and CD. Something tells me this is supposed to be in color, but I don't know. Anyway, the vinyl is undoubtedly real. So the vinyl looks like this. It looks very much like the first album. Typical A&M look to it. And this says it's made in Holland. Okay. So feeling bad, I thought I'd try to find a record for Matt. And I ordered one without reading the fine print that said no sleeve. Well, I thought that meant no inner sleeve. No, that meant no sleeve. This is what came in the mail. So I kept it. This uses an older style A&M label. Early Y&T records from the 80s uses this, or 38 Special. And this is from the UK. So I've got two copies of this. One of these days, I guarantee you if I got rid of one of these, I'd find an empty sleeve that I can use and give away. So here we go. I've got two copies of it and they actually look different. The big hit, of course, from Porno Graffiti was More Than Words. This is a UK picture sleeve, which I went over in my picture sleeve episode. Very cool. B-side, Nice Place to Visit. Non-LP B-side. They're one of those bands like The Darkness, not as many as The Darkness, but they've got an album's worth of hard-to-find songs, and unfortunately, they never got to the status where a record company saw it worthwhile to put it out. And I really, really like how this 45 looks. I just think that's cool, the silver. I like that a lot. The next one, 1992, great album. Concept album of sorts. 3 sides to every story, so 3 sides, or also could be said the third Extreme album. So the E is, you know, pulling double duty here. And this is a UK edition because by this point vinyl was not made in North America that I know of. Back cover divided into Yours, Mine, and the Truth. And what makes this interesting, it's a double record set. It includes the song Don't Leave Me Alone, which appeared on the cassette version of 3 sides, but not on the CD because the CD was long. It's the exact opposite how it normally goes. Normally the CD has things the cassette doesn't have, but there is that length issue there. And each record has this old style A&M, which is obviously what the UK were using still in the early 90s. And the edition I have, I would imagine all of them came with this poster. So poster of the band, and this is all the lyrics and credits. Next thing I got to show you is really, really, really cool. So the 4th Extreme album didn't come out until early 1995. It was called Waiting for the Punchline. It was not successful, and the band went on hiatus after that, of course. Nuno put out a solo album, Gary joined Van Halen, and they didn't come back together as a band for, I think, till about 2006, 2007. Near as I can tell, Waiting for the Punchline was never released on vinyl anywhere in the world, according to Discogs. I haven't seen a copy. I kind of figured there'd be a UK copy or maybe Japan or Korea or somewhere like that that still pressed vinyl, but it obviously didn't sell enough. However, A&M in the UK obviously spent a little bit more money promoting the album than their counterparts in the US. So I found on Discogs this. Now, what the heck is this? It's a box, obviously a vinyl-sized box. And this is, I'll show you here. This is Hip Today. This was the first single of Waiting for the Punchline. There was a video to it. Great song. This is the 12-inch single version of Hip Today from the UK. This has 4 songs on it altogether. Side 1 has Hip Today Edit, a song that didn't make any album called Never Been Funked. On side 2, there's their cover of Kiss's Strutter from the Kiss My Ass tribute album, and a demo of a song that ended up on their first album, Wind Me Up. This demo's from 1987. And there's a picture of Waiting for the Punchline. And it says, you know, the A&M album Waiting for the Punchline 540305-2. That's the CD. Doesn't indicate that there's a vinyl version, but there is a vinyl version of the single. And this box was a limited edition. As a matter of fact, I have number 2721 out of 3,000. There's only 3,000 of these made, which is pretty darn cool. I found this on Discogs, again, if I didn't say that already. And this was, I'm guessing this was like an Obi strip that went around it. It's a little beaten up, but that's okay. This is very cool. And it also comes with a pretty big poster with the Waiting for the Punchline album cover on it. So to me, that's cooler than simply just finding the whole album on vinyl. And here is the single itself. This is fairly unique in my collection. I don't have anything else like this. And I've got one last piece of vinyl to show you. In 2008, they put out a great album, which, as of filming this, is still their most recent studio album. I really wish they'd get a move on with a new one. I don't know why they haven't put one out. It would have been a perfect time to do it. Saudade de Rock. Great album. The next time the Extreme vinyl appeared, and we did an episode, Matt and I did an episode on Extreme, and we talked about this when it first came out, the CD, DVD, and Blu-ray version. I now have the vinyl version of Pornography Live 25 Metal Meltdown Live at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. This is on Loud and Proud Records, and this is a 2-record set. Same picture that's on the back of the CD. Very cool gatefold. So it's the album in its entirety. There's no extra songs on this like there are in one of the CD versions. It's just they play the album from start to finish. And I'll show you the vinyl because it's very cool. Just comes in plain white sleeves on this really cool looking orange vinyl. Not as thick as some of the newer vinyl, but still very, very cool. Let's see, I think that the other record is the same. Yes, it's the orange vinyl as well. So far this is the most recent extreme vinyl. There's some other singles floating around, but I think that gives you a pretty good cross-section of their catalog as it is available on vinyl. What have you got for extreme vinyl? Have you got anything different? Does anyone else have a Pornograffiti record that looks like mine with the hype sticker part of the front sleeve? Be curious to know. And thanks for watching Tim's Vinyl Confessions.